What is going on, everybody? What is going on? It's your boy Bangin' Two Times, and today we back another video, another stream, watching live and direct. What's up, guys? Anyway, let's get straight to it. This is a little bit of a different type of video. Today is more of a discussion based off the whole Zulu parade in Louisiana and how it's offending actual Zulu people from South Africa.
On the Zulu parade. And mind you, I am Black American, but I am not from New Orleans. The Zulu parade or even Mardi Gras is not a part of my cultural expression or my cultural identity as a Black American. But I just want to give everybody in the diaspora some food for thought. Can it be that when our brethren in Blackness deem something that is done in their name as disrespectful or offensive, can it just be that? An example, when folks are walking around doing AAVE, in box braids, being caricatures of Black Americanness, and we say that it's offensive, and other people who are not culturally Black American say that it's not offensive, it's disrespectful to us because culturally that's not who we are. So although the Zulu parade is over 100 years old, in 2025, Zulu people in South Africa are saying, hey, that's offensive. And it's no shade, but Blackface in 2025, no matter what the history, the minstrel show thing is just always going to be like, ooh, for me. Can we, as Black folks of the diaspora, be able to say, you know what? I see you, I hear you, and I recognize that culturally this isn't as sound as maybe we thought it was. And although we may have done this thing our whole lives, once folks educate us on how it is that we can position ourselves to learn more, to do better, then can we just do that? Without the back and forth?
She does make a great point. I feel like with the whole issue, like literally you search the Zulu parade on Google Images, right? Look what pops up right here. You see, the whole blackface thing is just like, why? You know what I mean? It's like, why? Problem is also naming it like Zulu parade with the whole blackface, and I see they even have the leopard print. I can see some leopard print designs and all that over there, right? Which is kind of a mockery in a sense, though it might be inspired, but it is a mockery, like because you have blackface and then you have leopard print. Which the leopard print actually is a traditional, like, part of the attire, right, for the tribe. So it literally, if I'm like, I'm putting myself in a Zulu person's shoes. If I'm a Zulu person, right, and I seen this for the first time, of course I will be mad. You can't get mad at a Zulu person for seeing this and being like, wait a minute, like this literally looks like a mockery of us. Like you're all dancing, and it's the same thing how like Black people were literally getting mad in China that one time for that, for the blackface thing. It's the same thing. Like in a sense, you see this, imagine, and then to make it worse, this is my tribe, my ethnicity, my ethnic group, and I see this, of course I'm gonna be mad. Like, come on now, of course I'm gonna be mad. Now with the whole thing of like its history, it's over 100 years old. Let me get the actual. Hold on, let me go on incognito mode real quick, man. Yeah, let me check this out real quick. So the society called the Tramps, they said in a comedy show, there was never a king like me. The musical comedy performed by Smart said the character were grass skirts and dressed in black makeup. Just market true bagman word to a new girl called the Zulus. The fact that it was a comedy show from 19 okay, let me just say from the early 1900s, the fact that it was a comedy show, that should tell that this is clearly a mockery. I know the Americans who did this, the black ones who did this, they're not doing it in like, they don't realize that they're mocking people, but they actually are. So don't be like confused why people are mad. You know what I mean? Don't be confused, because literally, if you can see, they were at a comedy show called "There Never Was and Will Never Be a King Like Me." You know what I mean? And the characters wore grass skirts and dressed in black makeup. That's clearly, at the time, if you watched all those old cartoons, the way they used to depict black characters, they literally were depicting them like with the over exaggerated red outline for the lips, you know what I mean, and the skin was just like black, you know what I mean. Come on. That's literally like the blackface, the whole issue of the blackface, right? Also, if you look at Tintin as well, too, with Tintin was literally Tintin went to Congo or something like that. I remember we were watching that at not watching it. They taught us that actually at school about Tintin went to Congo, how like problematic that was. Let me show you guys real quick, man. Tintin Congo. Hold on real quick, man. Oh man, I can't even spell that. Yeah, Tintin in the Congo. We learned this at school, actually. Doesn't that look similar to the whole like parade thing? And how like people actually, yeah, you see how people wanted to cancel it because we learned that at school. It was like 2016, 15. You know what I mean? So it's something, it's along those lines. You know, it's along those lines. Yeah, you see how the black face right here, the exaggerated lips. You know what I mean? The way Tintin just looks like cartoon. They just exaggerate the black person, basically. So now, yeah, if I'm a Zulu person and I see this, of course I'm gonna be offended. Of course I'm gonna be offended. I'm gonna feel so disrespected. And the thing is, these are not things from TV. This is not Wakanda. This is real ethnic groups you're talking about with the real tribal name. Of course you're gonna be offended. Like, I don't understand the whole outrage. Like, I mean, not outrage. I'm talking about outrage from the Americans, not from the Zulu people, from the actual Americans. Why are they getting outraged? You can clearly see that it's a mockery. Even like 2025, we're still doing blackface. I mean, I do want to go to Mardi Gras one day for sure, right? But I just don't understand why they gotta still do blackface. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, to be honest. And then I got some tweets from Twitter. Twitter been wilding, man. People been saying anything on Twitter, man. But this one had a good point though. Hold on, let me put this real quick. What I'm noticing in this Zulu parade conversation is that some black Americans don't understand that Zulu people are existing people who can currently object to inaccurate portrayals of their culture. They think Zulu people are a historical concept like mermaids. I kind of have to agree. And that's due to the fact of like, I feel like with how we see African cultures and African kingdoms is so romanticized rather than, how do I say it, not factualized, if you know what I mean by that. So it's like we don't see African kingdoms unless it's like some random movie or cartoon, right? We don't see their accurate portrayals. Like at school, you don't really see it like that compared to like when you're seeing the Queen of England or like the Queen or the King of France. When you're learning the history of the French, you know, the French Revolution, they're talking about, oh, what happened and this and that, right? And they explain in depth and they say, yeah, this what happened, this is the people, this, that. But then when it's like African kingdom, it's almost like it's mystical. Like they make it seem like it's mystical. You know, the whole Wakanda, the Black Panther, you know what I mean, coming to America. They make it seem like it's a mystical thing. So when she says, I'm noticing, like that some black Americans don't understand that Zulu people are existing people who can currently object to inaccurate portrayals. I agree, because literally some people would see Zulu people like how they see it on the movies. They never met a Zulu person before, but they've seen a Zulu person on TV with the Shaka Zulu movie, probably one of the greatest movies. And they would romanticize it rather than actually understanding that, oh, these are real people that still practice the customs and traditions and still have the clan names and still speak the language. Because you're seeing something on TV so romanticized and it's like make-believe, so that's what happens. That's pretty much, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Oh my goodness. Now this one right here was South Africans. Let's wrap this up by noon. The quicker you realize that New Orleans doesn't GAF, you can get that. The quicker you can get back to your giraffes and zebras. First of all, nothing is wrong about having giraffes and zebras. Have you seen giraffes and zebras in real life? Those are probably the most beautiful animals in the world. That's a flex. Imagine in your country you had a giraffe and zebra. Like, man, I can't wait till I'm about When I have my own house, I'm personally gonna have to buy a giraffe and a zebra to be in my garden. I don't care what y'all say. I want one. They're the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful animals ever. Just the way they're designed. You look at them, you're like, wow, God really snapped. God did a good job on this one. Wow, they're beautiful. So that's a flex. Not even a diss, to be honest. And those jungle jokes are so played out. I mean, they were never on in the first place, but they're so played out. It just makes you look dumb, bro. It's not even funny. And just saying this as a black person too. Is that funny? Not really. It's pretty dumb. It's almost as dumb as Blackface, to be honest. She said, "Jazz Fest is coming up. Y'all gonna be pissed again. Welcome to the internet." See, this is also another problem. There's people actively trying to educate you, and this is your response right here. Are you serious? They're trying to educate you, man, and this is your response right here. Y'all gonna be pissed again. It's like, first of all, it's not even supposed to be a fight in the first place. You're just supposed to listen and be like, when you're making fun of someone's culture, who are you to tell me about my culture that you're making fun of? Who are you? What gives you the right to do that? You know what I mean? But said, welcome to the internet. You're gonna be pissed again. Like, why do you want to fight? What's the point of that? What are you gonna gain from fighting? Why don't you just learn, understand, and change the thing? It's that simple. My goodness. She said, blackface, but it's black people. Y'all South Africans are R word ASF and quit speaking on the S word. You don't know S. Oh, I forgot to. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get in trouble, man. Yeah, don't know about. How does that even make sense though? What? Bro, blackface is literally, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Blackface, anybody can, you can't tell someone how to feel when you see blackface when it was always used as a mockery, man. Like it doesn't matter if someone's, so just because we're both black, that gives you the right to mock me. Like we're the same ethnicity. Does that give you the right to mock me? Because we're the same ethnicity. You can mock me, make fun of me, but because we're both black, you can mock me. What? She said, "You're telling us that African people who are actually Zulu not to talk shit about their culture that's been mocked and appropriated." You snapped. Lady Topaz, you snapped. You literally snapped because I don't get it. I don't get why the Americans are trying to fight about this. I don't get it. Like, if you can just change the name and still do the whole thing, I feel like you can, but still, I don't get it. And what this reminds me is of, just to make sure I'm accurate, I don't want to say things without having facts. Native Americans mad at Redskins. Yes. If you can see, it says boycott the Redskins, right? The Native Americans were like, no, this is disrespectful because Redskin is a stereotype. It is like, it's an insult calling them. It's literally like saying the Blackskins, bro. It's disrespectful. It's a mockery about their heritage because they had the whole Native American face, right? And have you noticed with teams, they usually use things that are like, they use animals, they use things that are scary. That's a mockery. You know what I mean? Why would you use their face? Because you're trying to say they're savages or something like that? That is a mockery. That is disrespectful. This is something very similar. This one was so dumb, man. She said, if Akon would have never gave them, what's would have never? Would have never gave them the internet, they wouldn't know anything about New Orleans. What? People knew. So you're telling me New Orleans was only known because of the internet, bro? Like, what's going on? People probably would have found out by books, bro. Like the way the world was working before, like 2010, bro. Like, when stuff was. Oh my goodness, man. And the thing is, what does Akon have to do with anything? Where did Akon come from, bro? What? So, okay. According to America, according to Americans, Africa's a country. I forgot. Africa's a country according to some Americans. You know what I mean? Some, not all Americans. Let's not generalize over here, man. I'm not trying my hard not to generalize. But according to some Americans, Africa is a country. So that's probably why Akon is, you know what I mean? But the community notes came through. The community notes said, number one, Akon is Senegalese. He ain't South African. Two, Akon supplied electricity to other African countries like Senegal, but not South Africa. From 2014, the first internet connection established in South Africa was 1988. Educate yourself with the Wikipedia right there. First of all, what do y'all think over there, man? Y'all think like people are like they don't have things like have you seen how China's looking like these days? China is looking like they're in 2070 right now, while some parts of the US are still looking like 1985. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say I'm not comparing I'm just saying you think you're so advanced, but in reality there's people that are more advanced than you. So this whole comment was so unnecessary, to be honest, man. Sheesh, man. And it was dumb too. All right, we got this one right here. So this one says South Africa versus New Orleans is such a crazy diaspora war, especially since it started over a parade that has been around 100 years and was co-signed by actual Zulu warriors. But people love being outraged. First of all, was that true? You know what I mean? Is that true? Was it actually co-signed by actual Zulu warriors? I'm not too sure. We can go search that up, right? So it's been around for over 100 years. Okay, cool. Things can change. If people don't like it, they have the right to say, okay, fine, we don't want it anymore. Change the name. You do not own the identity of Zulu people because you was not Zulu ethnicity. That's not your tribe. That's not your peoples. You do not have the right to tell people that they love being outraged. You know what I mean? You don't have the right to do that, Ms. Bria, please. You don't have the right to do that. Co-signed by actual Zulu warriors. Are you sure? I mean, I'll search it up after the video is done. So let me take her word for it. Even if it's co-signed by them, if the general community does not like it, they can change it. You know what I mean? And it seems like the general community is not liking it right now. They think of it as a mockery. So they can still be outraged. They have the right to be outraged. I would have never thought, though. I would have never thought that. That's a crazy crossover, though, man. You have New Orleans. When I think of New Orleans, I'm thinking of Lil Wayne and, like, the NBA Youngboy and Birdman and Master P. That's what I'm thinking of New Orleans and Mardi Gras and Creole and Gumbo. I would ever expect them to be going head to head with South Africans on Twitter. That is insane to me. Like, I can't lie. That is crazy to me, man. That is crazy. You know? People love being outraged. I don't think people love to be outraged. I just feel like people wanted to respect. It's my tribe. So I'm just putting them in my shoe. Example. It's my tribe. It's my culture. I don't want it to be mocked. I don't want it to be seen as a comedy show. It's nothing to laugh about. This is my tribe. This is my ancestral culture. This is my ancestors' culture. This is who I am. Don't mock my identity. At the end of the day, this is who I am. Don't mock my identity. That's what they're trying to tell you. That this is who they are. That's their identity. And do not mock them. It is that simple. You can't be arguing about this. I'm sorry. You can't argue about this. No matter what. If the roles were reversed, it would have been chaos. Chaos. And rightfully so. The Americans now would have the right to say, that's my identity. Don't mock it. With the whole conversation with like, oh, the fashion. Because you know that conversation where they're like, oh yeah, well you guys dress like us. You guys act like us. You guys talk like us, right? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I hear that point at the same time. I mean, I'm from Canada, bro. Of course I'm influenced by United States. Like, you are our neighbor, but you guys don't treat us like our neighbor at all. You guys actually don't like us for some reason. But, like, I get that point. But are people mocking you or they're admiring you? That's the thing. Are they putting blackface and saying, yo, 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 I'm American, yo, 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 I got the blackface on, I eat watermelon. That's stereotypes, by the way. This is stereotypes. I eat watermelon and fried chicken. That's stereotypes right there. But the whole thing with the Zulu parade literally has a blackface on literally has blackface. That's literally blackface, bro. Blackface, which was used to actually mock African people. I showed you the example of Tintin in Congo, right? That's used to mock black people. So now imagine the roles are reversed. It would have been insane, right? People are inspired. I get it. Like Americans obviously are influential. Like we're literally watching American TV and programs and listening to American music for like the past hundreds of years at this point, right? Because American media is so powerful. We're on American platforms right now. It's so powerful. So how can you not be influenced, right? But I don't think anyone is mocking though. They may be influenced, but they're not mocking. The problem is the mocking. You can be influenced. Go and get your retire for real. If you really influenced, they should have booked that flight, went to KZN, you know what I mean, and actually wanted to learn and understand. Not a whole mockery. We got the blackface on, wearing the actual, I know, mocking the actual traditional attire as well. So that's another thing. Wearing the leopard print. I saw that. I was like, oh no. Now that's, I understand why that's a mockery. And then you're busy. You know what I mean? You gotta understand. But at the end of the day, this is the time to learn. Let's not fight. Let's just learn from each other, and things will be much better. To be honest, honestly speaking. It's currently New Orleans S on my timeline because they're mad about the Zulu parade. Zulu tribe people are mad because Zulu parade doesn't reflect their real culture. I'm from New Orleans and I agree with them. Simple as that. I'm from Canada and I agree with them as well too. You know what I mean? Simple as that. I'm from Canada and I agree with them. It's that simple. It's that easy. It's that easy. Anyways, if you made this far, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching live and direct, what's up? Follow me on Twitch at Bang It 2 times. Follow me on Instagram, Bang It 2 times. You know what I mean? Follow me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Want to put on 100K? Let's get it popping. Anyways, see y'all later. It's your boy Bang It 2 times and I'm out.